Take it away, Kev.
Yo, what up, guys? We're Cheat Codes, and you're about to learn some cool shit.
About our music.
Yeah.
Just cool shit in general.
Yeah, cool shit.
We're going to take you behind the scenes on one of our songs called I Love It with our homies Dubs. Well, the concept behind the song originally started with like this sort of question of why, and it was kind of me asking myself why I do certain things, of like, you know, why I smoke too much weed.
Why do I smoke so much my lungs just might collapse?
My lungs actually did collapse twice. I had surgery a few years ago because I guess I smoked too much, but it is what it is. And I still smoke. I guess I can't stop. Originally, I had these verses and I had this different chorus. They kind of kept with that theme of like it being more of a negative connotation of why am I doing these things. And then I brought the idea to Matt and Kevy, and I was like, what do you guys think about these lyrics or whatever? They were like, yeah, these verses are cool. And I was like, okay, so you don't like the chorus. I remember we were messing with ideas, and then I think Matt was like, what if you kind of twisted it in the chorus and, you know, instead of it being like this negative thing the whole time, it's more like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Maybe it's because I actually like doing it. It's not a negative thing. Maybe it's because I actually love it. And we were like, oh, that's dope.
Bam.
Kevy was in there, he was wearing off-white, and we
Love
were
Off-White.
trying to think of what are things that we do just because we love it. And we know Kevy's dropping too much money on some of this stuff.
Always shopping. Love shopping.
He's got the off-whites on right now.
There you go.
Mad. So he threw that in there, and, you know, shout out Virgil. So we had the concept of the song going. We were pretty, you know, we loved it. We loved the idea of what we're doing, and we sent it over to the homies Dubs. They thought
They came over to the studio.
They came to the studio. They thought the concept was cool. And then we came up with some ideas for the second verse with them as well.
So we had them come in and they helped with some production ideas and made some music. When we started messing with the song, we started searching around for like different random samples of people talking with sort of that same concept of why. We kind of typed in like why on searches and had people like found random quotes that had to do with just the word why, just because that's kind of the main concept behind the verse. And we found this one, which is kind of random, and it went along with the concept really well. And it is.
Why does he have to have these $500 suits? Why does he have to have that Rolls Royce? Why does he have to have that Lincoln Continental?
I mean, originally a lot of it was built around this little plucky melody that I had. I made this little plucky thing. I made it in Serum, so I used I just kind of went through these different sounds and found something I kind of liked and messed with the sound a bunch. Created kind of my own preset, and after we kind of built the track and sang the vocals over, we kind of realized it was a little too musical, a little too like happy sounding, but we thought it was really cool for an intro because it's kind of a catchy little melody, you know.
Really the only part.
Yeah, originally it was like in the intro and like during the chorus and whatever, even in the little drop, but we got rid of it everywhere else besides the intro. One of the main things we built the song around was this electric guitar, which is really nice. We all play different instruments. We play guitar, drums, and bass and things like that. So we try to incorporate live instrumentation into our dance music. It makes it feel a little less electronic and a little more alive, you know, which is kind of a cool thing to do with dance music and electronic music, is to incorporate these live sounding elements to make electronic sounds feel more real and authentic when they're blended together, you know. There's a lot of things going on throughout the track, but the funny thing is that when it drops and it like kind of goes into this drop section, there's very few things happening. It just sounds really big. Really, there's a vocal chop, a kick, and a bass, which are like the three main elements you're only really hearing when this thing drops. There's a couple other little ear candy things happening, little effects and things like that, but for the most part, I'll kind of break it down for you. So that's supposed to be like the big part of the song, right? But really, there's only a few things happening, so here's one of them. Which is just a vocal glitch messed with, and you change the melody and you mess with the format and different distortion and reverb and things like that, and it kind of creates this whole new sound that you can't really recreate, you know? If you take that away from the drop, sounds pretty boring. I mean, it still sounds nice, but you know, there's everything counts, you know what I mean? You take away one element and the song sounds completely different. So, and here's one of the other main sections, is the bass happening. So if you take away that from the drop, you take away the vocal and the bass. So basically, it's just those three main elements. If you take away the kick, it's very, very bare. So it's interesting that like you really just need to make every sound count. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where if you can have three elements of a song, but if they all have their spot and they all make a really big impact, then it's gonna sound awesome. Less is more. A lot of producers try to, which is cool. I mean, everyone has their own style, but a lot of producers try to like throw a million things at a project in order for it to sound big. But if you have the right things, you know, you can get away with a lot less than you think. Whenever we choose a vocalist for the song, it just kind of, a lot of it comes down to just who we think is going to sound right on the vocal. And because I wrote the verses, I think that it just kind of made sense for my vocal. Just kind of fit the tone that I kind of like to write in and the tone I like to sing in. So it was right in my pocket, you know. And then we wrote the chorus, and we kind of wanted to I wanted to give my tone a little different vibe than what I usually do. I kind of wanted to make it feel a little more urban, a little more like Post Maloney than what I usually do. But I think it kind of gives a nice vibe and kind of matches the concept of the song a little more. And that was the song I Love It with our homies Dubs. And yeah, check it out on our new dance EP, Level 1. Squad!